Marrron. Marrron. Can I hear you say Marrron?
Marrron.
Marrron. Feels so nice. Is everybody having a nice time in the Brunswick? Is anybody here from Brighton? Is anybody here from Hove?
Yeah.
Kind of. Is anybody here from the Witness Protection Program? Really? I know, I could be in trouble now. I don't know what to do about this. But I will tell you something. The music here, this is my second time down here on the open mic. I can kind of see people a little bit more than could last week, which is nice. So you've got to make lots of noise, as the people did on the Witness Protection Program. Thank you. Thank you. You're doing a good job. Now, the music is a beautiful thing. It really does touch the soul and touch us very deeply and can inspire. But it can also confuse. For example, if you're going down a particular path, whether that's in life metaphorically or literally, it can be contrasting messages. I hope this works. So I was travelling the other day, and I just felt a little bit unsure of myself. So I turned to music for inspiration, and the first thing that popped into my head was this. There we go, straight away, we recognise that. So that seemed pretty clear to me. That's all I had to do in my life to get things back on track. You would have thought. But then this is where the head comes in, because the head has lots of different stories and shoulds from other people in society. So just as I was ready to do that, the following came along. Which really was very, very confusing. I was hearing two different messages. So what I had to do was hang around a little bit longer. And then this came along. So what do you do there? You've got two for don't turn around and one for do turn around. What do you do in that situation? I was a little bit confused. But then the deeper wisdom came along. So if you're going to learn anything, take away anything from tonight, then I don't want it to be necessarily to listen to Roxette, because actually they've got a good point, because listening to your heart, the heart, as we know, we talk about gut feelings, whereas we go into our head, we hear all these different stories and situations and what society thinks we should do and different people's opinions. So if we do listen to our heart, we can make better choices. But don't listen to Roxette completely, because they did encourage joyriding as well. I don't remember if that particular song is something they did. So what can you do about that? And then you can turn to the Spice Girls. Who likes the Spice Girls here? People of Brunswick, the Spice Girls, they had a lot of wisdom to share, and I'm sure in a couple of 1,000 years people will still be studying the works of the Spice Girls and trying to find the wisdom. Their very first song was, I really, tell me what you want, tell me what I want. Which one is it? Thank you. And the answer, do you remember the answer? I really want a zig a zig ah. So, what does that mean? Well, we're going to uncover that. Maybe not tonight, it's a deep topic. So, I'd like to share with you some personal details about me, but I'm going to sort of save that to the end. And if I do that, I'd like you to make some noise in a particular way. I'd like you to express. We'll kind of come on to that. But what I wanted to do was to share a little bit about, oh Nick, so you're going to give about a minute's notice kind of thing.
I will give you a minute's notice if you like.
Thank you very much, thank you. So basically, with that in mind, I wanted to share a little bit why I'm here tonight, why I was here last week. But I don't just want to share that with you. I want you to ask me, Marrron, why are you here? Can you ask me that?
Marrron, why are you here?
A little bit louder. I just need my ego to be satisfied here. I've come along, I'm wearing a very colourful coat. Can you kind of crank it up a bit? Marrron, why are you here?
Marrron, why are you here?
Oh, that's better, because I'm here to overcome my fear of public speaking. Because for that very simple reason, as I say, it's all about me tonight. Only with a 10-minute slot, not the whole thing, obviously. But I just wanted to kind of share that with you because we all live with fear. And fear is something that we've evolved to have as human beings because it stops us jumping into tigers' cages and different things like that. But it can also stop us leading a full and meaningful life. And so it's very interesting, the idea about coming up and just standing on stage and preparing a little bit, but not preparing too much because that doesn't leave space for the interaction and the magic to happen. So this is what it's all about, really. And the fear was there during the day today, but less so than it was last week. There was a little bit more excitement, a little bit like little Paul inside, wanting to come out and play and just engage with people and to be seen and to show a bit of leg. You can tell I'm wearing underwear, which is a bad thing. So I'm not going to be completely naked, but I'm going to be a little bit vulnerable because that does feel quite nice, actually, because I feel quite safe in front of people here tonight. We've only just met or seen each other last week, perhaps people that are here last week, but I'm just, this is what I'm here to do. And the more that we can kind of do that, our world can expand rather than constrict and allow this kind of voice, these gremlins, this fear, it just serves a purpose, right? It just wants to keep us safe, keep us well, but it's not really consistent with leading a full and meaningful life. You can see how it stops us doing all these different things. So we could talk about, something I wanted to talk about, which we touched on last week, was pot noodle and a wank, which is who was here last week? Who remembers the pot noodle and the wank? And you still came down on a Monday night rather than engaging and indulging in that particular pastime. I have to take my hat off to you. It's becoming more of a Tuesday thing, isn't it? I think that's the way to go about things. So, another reason why I'm here is because of James Corden. Does anybody like James Corden? No. Good answer. Because let's face it, whether we're musicians or I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's stand-up. I'm standing up. But actually, if I put an expectation on to make people laugh, then that could kind of be disappointing if it doesn't kind of happen. So yes.
You're a performance artist.
Thank you. Is that what it is? I will take that. But actually, thank you for throwing that in. I like the participation, like I say. But actually, the interesting thing about that is I feel like my whole life up to this point has been a performance. This is me being real. Because we wear masks. We act different ways to gain laughs, to gain acceptance, to get jobs, and all these different things. And are we blocking our real, true, authentic self? So this is kind of me being real, actually. So, and at the same time being a performance artiste.
This is your 1 minute.
1 minute, okay. So a couple of little quick things about me that might help your life, particularly if you've got male genitalia. So the first thing is that something I learned at a festival about 5 years ago is when I go for a wee-wee, is to dab the end of my willy, because there's always a few drops of urine and it keeps my underpants really clean. Try it. The only thing is, people will tend to think you've got a problem with your bowels because whenever you go to the toilet, you always go in the cubicle because that's where the toilet paper is. That's the first thing. Second thing that I like to do if you share a bed with somebody and you get a bit gassy, maybe through bad food choices, what's a good thing to do? What I do is I separate my butt cheeks and I allow the wind to exit. And what it happens is you get a sound. Could anyone like to guess what the sound is different like? Exactly. So there we are. Just try it out. My partner, hello Gemma, how are you doing? She knows all this anyway, and she still loves me for strange reasons I don't fully understand. Because she's not fully recovered from COVID. COVID was a bad thing, don't get me wrong, but for people that haven't regained their sense of smell, that share a bed with someone who farts, it's not so bad. Just to close then, what I'd like to do is, I want all the frustration from everything that's happened this week, I want you to take it out of me. So what I'd like you to do is, I'm going to say into the microphone in a moment, my name is Marrron, and if you don't like it, and the invitation is, I want you to shout with your loudest voice, there's no children present, fuck you. Ready? Okay. My name is Marrron, and if you don't like it, louder! My name is Marrron, and if you don't like it, yes, I love you, Hove.
Everybody, please give it up. We go, Marrron! That was fantastic. Next up to the stage, it's the